Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting esoteric, and everything else in between. And we're going to talk about the review of this book, Weather Magic, and I was looking for it. Um, the new Ink Goddess Creations box. Both the links are in the description. Um, yeah, this is a really fun box. I can't wait to get into this. Actually, matter of fact, let's talk about this first because why not? I have planners all around me. I got a planning video coming up where I'm turning this into something and this one into something. But that's another time. I got a lot of stuff going on. But let's get into this Ink Goddess Creations box. So I just got it in and I will be breaking for blueberries. I've mentioned this before. I've become a bit of a blueberry bitch. It's kind of my thing now. I like blueberries. I don't know why I haven't been eating certain things. I've been making major improvements to my diet and I feel so much better. So let's get into this box. Take a sip of water. The allergy medicine, I think, is finally starting. I shouldn't talk about it. It's finally starting to work. Didn't think I was going to be able to even make it through this because I kept coughing and all this other stuff. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into this. So when I open up the box, the first thing I get is this. And there's some instructions on the back. I thought it was just stickers, but it says these are tattoos. So I'm going to try these. Look at this. This is, it came with tattoos. So I definitely like the wheel of it. Well, the pentacle. It makes me think of Wheel of the Year, but the pentacle and the goddess symbols for sure. I like everything. So I'm going to try to use these. I'm very curious. So it says here, cut out the sigils, tattoo with scissors, clean the area you want to apply to. Skin must be dry. First, remove the clear sheet. Place the tattoo sticky side down on the skin using a damp cloth or paper towel. Gently press down and rub it for 30 seconds. Carefully peel away the paper to see if the tattoo has transferred onto the skin. Repeat above if it's lifting with the paper backing. If the transfer is good, pull away the paper completely. And they even give instructions on how to remove it. So use any skin-friendly oil or rubbing alcohol to gently rub away the tattoo. Non-toxic. It does say don't apply to sensitive, broken skin or near your eyes. If you're experiencing any discomfort, discontinue. Blah blah blah. So tattoos, temporary tattoos. Okay. So I did open because I wanted to make sure everything's in the box. Now let me just preface this by saying you don't know what's in the box. Of course, when you get it, that's part of the fun. The thing about this particular box is that it contains things that I already got. So I feel like I have a set now, but we're going to get into it. So the theme is Seize the Magical Day. Infusing magic into your daily routine can be extremely easy, from getting to know the day's full energy to setting intentions for your day to adding protective adornments to your outfit or body. June's Ink Goddess Creations box has you covered. Carpe Magical Diem. Seize the magical day. So you get this. So I'm quite excited about everything in here. First of all, this is really fun. And, I think what I'm going to end up doing is some of these, well, no, they won't like it. I was going to say, I'm going to be around some little people who might like this, but I can't assume. Some people get, freaked out by stuff like this. It scares them. But maybe the Ankh symbol, I don't know. I'll see. Let's get into the box. So the first thing is the deck. So this box came with a deck. I love the thing about the boxes because you get these little pouches and you can reuse these for other things. But this is the daily energy deck. Get to know, here it is. And it tells you here, get to know the day's full energy each morning by pulling cards that reflect that day. The deck contains cards for the day of the week, moon phase, season, weather, and astrological season. Instructions are included. And they are. Here's the instructions on the back. Let me get this with the right lighting. There you go. So those are the instructions. So this deck is designed to help you tap into the complete energy of each day based on the astrological season, day of the week, moon phase, season, weather. You pull one card from each of the 5 sections that represents the current day's aspect. Place them on your altar or journal about them with ideas of how to magically use that day's energy. You can incorporate this practice into your daily routine to help you live magically. Cards representing the astrological season, moon phase, and season may not change each day, as these energies are present for longer periods of time, right? So let's get into this. So they're in different sections. So we have the astrological season. So obviously, it starts with Aries season, but that's not the one we're in. But this is what it looks like. I'm just going to quickly flip through the cards so you can see. Maybe I should have went. Yeah, this is fine. And then, of course, Taurus season. I love the color. Hey, Dylan. I love the colors corresponding. Cancer. Ooh, well, I skipped that, but that's Cancer season. This is Gemini season. Leo. Ooh. Well, that's Scorpio. But before Scorpio, there is Virgo. And then Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. All right. And then Pisces. Water signs can be fun. I have a lot of water energy in my chart. So then we come with the days of the week. So we have Sunday, which, if you wanted to know, element is fire, planet, sun. Like, this makes sense, right? Sunday, sun. Colors are orange and red. Energies, creativity, expression, vitality, motivation, divine masculine, enjoying life. Magical practices, sun magic, candle magic, fire magic, earthing, gratitude magic, honor divine masculine deities, get creative, weekly planning. On Sundays, I like to plan. That makes sense. So these, I'm not going to read every day of the week, but you get it. That's Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, and I keep doing that. Then we have Thursday. And let's look at Wednesday as I'm mixing the cards up. Wednesday. And then Friday. So let's talk about Friday because today's Friday, right? Element is water, if you didn't know. Planet is Venus. Colors, pink, aqua. I got a little pink on. I always try to wear some. There's a little pink in these too. Energies, love, self-love, beauty, compassion, fertility, friendship, sexuality. Magical practices, self-love spells, fertility, rituals, sex magic, friendship rituals, glamour magic, and ritual baths. I think Fridays are good days. Like, I was going to say, was it Friday? Sometimes on Friday nights back in the day, way back in the day, before the 2000s back in the day, I remember I would get my hair done like on a Friday. And I loved when I could do that. I don't know, something about that felt right. It's like Friday night, like after work. If I had a class or something like that, like once upon a time, like I might have signed up for like a class, like exercise or something like that. Like, that's active self love to do that sort of stuff. And glamour. Like, I usually, when I was younger, I would go out on a Friday. So glamour magic was definitely, whether I realized that's what I was doing, I was definitely using glamour magic. A lot of us doing, like, just the techniques of the makeup and stuff that we're doing. I really wish you would mention the origins of the name of the day. Oh, I know what you're saying. I guess there's only so much space on the card. So I'm guessing that just element, plant, colors, excuse me, energies, and magical practices. They're not getting too deep. I mean, they're just cards. But then we have the moon phases. So this is new moon. We are currently in a new moon cycle. Like yesterday, what's today? 6? Yeah, it was the new moon. I had to look at the calendar. Was the new moon. So we're still in the energies of the new moon. So let's talk about it. It says the new moon phase marks the beginning of the lunar cycle. Energies, new beginnings, setting goals and intentions. Magical practices, start new projects, set new goals, set intentions, seek new job opportunities and relationships. This makes perfect sense for where I'm at right now. And what I'm doing, I'm tapping into that energy. I feel called to start something new around this time, around the new moon. Waxing moon, of course, it goes into that. And then your full moon. of manifestation, energies, manifestation, gratitude, magic, healing magic, the magical practices, manifestation, cleansing and charging crystals, divination, boosting spells, and healing rituals. The waning moon. I'm glad she included that, not just the full moon and the new moon, winter season. So we talk about the different seasons. Remember, there's different categories. So you would find the one that you're in and you would work that way. Spring season, technically, this is where it gets interesting. Technically, not until the 21st of this month are we in this technically officially summer. I would not resonate so much with spring. I would resonate with summer because it's going to be like 110 today. Some at the highest point, summer season. So archetype, mother, fire element, right? Um, or element is fire. Energies, joy, vitality, growth, passion, inner fire, empowerment, magical practice, create a summer altar. I'm about to do that. Sex magic. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. The heat. It's hot outside. You get in heat. Spells for passion and joy. Fire magic. Love spells. Be creative. Personal power rituals. Once spring and summer come, these are my times. As someone born in late March, it makes sense to me. This is my time to shine. My magic. I'm also not someone right now who I don't know. I can't do what's the right word? Like Sarah. No, that's not true. I like to switch it up around this time as well. This season, like I'm ready to try something different. Um, I'm ready like for different experiences or even my regular routines. I'm looking to like switch them up by spring, summer. And I like to simplify around this time because I don't know, it's the heat. You're tired, right? I don't feel like doing a lot of work basically. And then of course there's the fall season, which once that comes, honestly, when I get with a fall by late August, I'm ready to wrap up the summer. Like I'm tired of heat. I'm tired of everything. That's how I am. So like if you watch this channel, notice by August, I'm already talking about Samhain, Halloween, ready to change the decor in the house in August because I'm over it by then. A few nights ago, I made mini lemon bay laurel muffins. Ooh, to celebrate the summer solstice. I used the rest to make a cake. It tastes good, but I need to add less bay. Yeah. The cake has lemon frosting. The muffins don't have frosting. I got what you're saying. I would, well, you can do it the way you want, but maybe not that. Now it talks about the weather. So if you have a sunny day, like for us, it's sunny. The sun has long been a symbol of divine masculine. Sunny days encourage all living things to thrive and grow. Energies, positivity, vitality, growth, creativity, strength, action, success. Magical properties, spend time outside for us in the morning. Express your creativity, work with the sun gods, do joyful activities, work with the solar plexus chakra. So that would be your sunny card. And then if it's rainy, they tell you what to do with that. We don't have a lot of rainy days here, but we're about to get into some weather related stuff. Hi, gemstones. Snowy. Snow has powerful cleansing purification properties. I learned that reading this book. I'm about to get into this book in a minute after this. Windy. Windy is an excellent time for communication and cleansing. Yeah. Because it carries your messages, right? The wind. Um, Cloudy days. And then the instructions page. So now I was looking for a version of morning pages as a witch. And I think these will be a perfect exercise to work with. So for me, most days are sunny. The only thing that's going to change daily um, on here, let me think. The day of the week is the thing that changes. The season won't change as much, like the astrological season. Um, Weather is almost always sunny in the moon phase, it gradually changes, but this will be a nice exercise. Hey, Berserk. Hey, how you doing? Summer might be hot, but at least it's also our monsoon season. I'll get into that. Yeah, I read a little bit about that kind of stuff and rain and all that stuff. Have you ever thought that there is a lesson in our summers, Mika, with it being hot but also rainy season? I'm still learning this land. I'm still learning that these are not, I was more in tune. Okay. I was more in tune when I lived in Florida. It would rain, and I read about it in this book too. How in the summer, like it's summertime in Florida, especially South Florida, I could set my, actually almost all of it. Even I lived in Jacksonville, I could set my clock to when I knew it would rain. I knew it would rain at a certain point. I knew it would stop at a certain point, and I knew how it would feel after it rained. It was very consistent, and for me, that was a time to either be outside in the rain and just do a cleansing. To me, it was almost like a cleansing ritual. But for here, well, the monsoon, I feel like it's just the force that is with the heat. The heat has its own force to its own energy, and this heat here is very powerful, right? So, in order to kind of combat that, not even combat, but to match that energy, we have to have something as energetic as the heat. So the monsoon is just that we can't just have a sprinkle and it's just nice. We need the same energy of the heat. And I think that's why we just can't have a, a normal rainy day like maybe other parts of the country. It's gotta be like heavy rains, and it's gotta come fast, and it's gotta be like hard rain. It's gotta be like winds and all that stuff to match the intensity. That's what I'm looking for, the word intensity of the heat. So that's what I think about that. So these cards are really cool. I think these are great. And she mentioned for and I'm saying she, but the person who Morgan who makes this stuff or is part who owns the company. I do think these are great for a journaling exercise, and I'm really interested in working this into my practice and using this. Also, I can take it when I'm on the go because I'll be traveling very soon, and I wouldn't want to stop the practice. So this will be fun. I'm actually going to go someplace where it might have different weather so I can talk about it a little bit more. I have to think about that idea. Right, like the intensity is of the heat. So the rain that kind of equals it all out also is intense. The next thing that's in here is this box. I went through the box first because I couldn't contain myself. Anyway, so this is a wooden box manifestation kit, known as a manifestation box or wish box. The idea is to place your intention inside, close the box, and allow your magic to work. This manifestation kit contains a wooden box, a white averterine gemstone, the manifestation herb blend of alfalfa, catnip, damiana, dandelion, lemon balm, cinnamon chips, and basil, and many paper scrolls. Write your intention onto one scroll, place inside the box, sprinkle some of the herb blend on top of the paper, and add the white averterine on top. Close the box and send your intention into the world for manifestation. I love everything about this. So let's open the box. There was some resistance, which is good, right? So here's what's inside the box. So here's the crystal that was mentioned. And then let me show you these little scrolls. This is so cute. So you get 5 little scrolls. Look at this. They have little wires on them. You can write. This is so adorable. Let me see if I can get this in the right light. Yeah. You see it? Isn't this adorable? So I love this. And also, you can make your own if you run through this. But I like that. Now, the herbal blend. Oh, that's here. I was wondering. I just looked at it and read everything first. So this is where the herbal blend is in this little packet. Let's open it up again. It's a good amount of herbs in here, by the way. Oh, I smell just from over here. So again, the herbs in here are going to contain alfalfa, catnip, damiana, dandelion, lemon balm, cinnamon chips, and basil. So it's herby. Ooh, peppery. They're peppery. Anyway, so there you go. I don't want to aggravate my sinuses any more than they have been. So I'm really looking forward to this particular exercise, and they give you a lot to kind of sprinkle over. That is a lot of herbs. Like this is something I can use for this kit, and for something else too. At this rate, I wasn't sure this. I was like, wait, are these the herbs? Because that's a lot. Yeah, that's. Is it? No. Wait, where's the herbs then? Am I missing something? Hold on. Because there said this is another herb bundle. No, that's something different. So where's my herbs? Oh, am I missing something from this box? Sprinkle some of the herb blend. What is the herb blend? All right, I'm gonna keep going, but I don't. We're gonna hold the thought because I'm not thinking. Is this the right thing? Wait, let me look at it. Because down it says here there's a herb, but oh no, this is the herbs. Or that herb bundle is something else. Yo, this is a lot of herbs, right? For that to be putting in this box. I can repurpose it. But now that I have them, I will repurpose it. Okay. I did. I looked in a wooden box. Look, it's just this stuff. It's nothing more. This is it. This gigantic pouch is for this. You'll see in a second when the bundle, I thought they were referring to it as a bundle, but no, it's something else. I just eyeballed this. I didn't go through too much. Witchy symbol temporary tattoos, which was on top, so I've already shown that. These are the temporary tattoos. I will try these. I'm curious. Where does one even? I'll put it here. I'll put it here. I'm not put a punch on my neck and see what happens. Wait a minute. Now I'm thinking, I've been wanting to play around. Maybe I'll put, you know what would be funny? If I put like the Ankh symbol like right here. Just walk around like that all day. I might. Why not, right? Why not? Just go into the world this way. Now I'm thinking about it. I might play. If I do, I'll share on social media or something, or here like on one of those shorts or something. If I do it, if I put it on my face, but I know I'm gonna put them like here, on my wrist or something because they'll show up. I lost my serpentine wand and have been looking for it for months. I walked into the room and found on a small table. I look at the table all the time. Well, that's how it is. Hey, the Princess Diaries. That is how it is. Things. Well, we already talked about that. Things reappear as if I don't know, someone fairy magic or something. Anyway, the next thing is Everyday Magic Mist. So let me open this. It says our Florida water blend of orange, rosemary, rose, and clove essential oils help to cleanse negative energy and uplift your spirit. And if I had known that they were gonna give me Florida water mist object. Pretty red lipstick. Thank you. Appreciate it. I love this particular brand. It's my favorite red. It's the perfect red for me. Anyway, this is the Everyday Magic Florida Water Blend Mist. So we gonna smell it. Yeah, it's perfectly for herbally. This is it. So this is what it looks like. This is plastic. So we have that. This is perfect for me. And then a Florida water soap. A Florida water soap, bar soap. I've never used that before. I'm weird about bar soaps, but this is good. Okay, so I'll tell you what she said. I already know what I'm going to do. Florida water has been used for over 200 years to cleanse, purify, and calm nerves. This soap makes it easy to add Florida water to your daily shower or bath routine. You know what? If you have sensitive skin, like bar soap is going to dry the heck out of my skin. Where I'm at this point in my life and where I'm physically located. So I'm not really a fan of bar soap. But do you know what this would be good for? Using the bar soap, yes, you could do like if you want to do your whole body and wash it with the bar soap, that's cool. But and just use your regular, soap afterwards, so you don't dry out. But another thing which I plan on doing is my hands. Before I do magical work, I've been wanting something like this But washing my hands first with this before I do any type of ritual or manifestation work or any kind of magical work that I'm about to get into the habit of using this. I might order a second one for the bathroom and one for the kitchen. Before I get into any type of workings, this would be good to have that. So that's how I'm thinking of using it. I love Florida water bar soap. You write sigils on yours. That's nice. I love the idea of bar soap, but it's hella dirty. Also slips out of your hands. No, that's what I'm talking about. Using it just to wash your hands, not the body. And I'll be the only one using it. Nobody else. We're not that kind. There's no sharing of bar soap in my home. We don't even share the bathroom, so how are we gonna share bar soap? But anyway, we will. That's a separate thing for me. And I would have a little soap dish, and that's a whole other thing. So then you can get into your soap dishes and maybe um, put a sigil on the soap dish as well. So that sigil can be something where it's constantly re-energizing the properties in the bar soap. So I don't know. It's just ways to layer the magic. Uh, let's get to the next thing. Oh, the allergies are still with us. Green flower tourmaline necklace. Let's get into this. I always like when I get jewelry. Ooh. Oh my God, I love this so much. Oh, this is getting warm immediately. Look at this. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is nice. So let's get into what it says. It says so green flower tourmaline necklace. This gemstone is highly grounding, protective, and helps nurture you in times of stress. Add to your daily outfit to boost these energies in your day. Well, honey, I'm gonna be I'm not driving. No. I'm gonna be flying on a plane very soon. I'm cool with travel. I don't get freaked out until it's time for takeoff. I'm perfectly fine until it's just the sounds and all that stuff. It's like, oh wait, hold on now. Like I'm trying to keep that's I have some I usually reach out to my ancestors, like most people will pray. I'm like, now look, y'all, let come on now, get me through this. Don't let no hiccups happen. So wearing this would hopefully give me some soothing energy. Also, when it's time to land, same thing. When I'm up in the air, I'm cool. It's the takeoff and it's the landing that I get a little on the edgy side about. You would know this because well, because I'm practicing techniques to calm myself down. I don't like make this known when I'm on the plane. I'm very reserved. If you look at me, I just look like I'm just like this. And I'm really like, oh my gosh, ancestors, please don't let this thing crash. Don't let this burn up or take off. That's what I'm thinking. um, the next thing is the Florida Water votive candle. Check it out. A candle too. So we get okay, so there's a theme here. Um, so a blend of orange, clove, rosemary, and rose to help cleanse the negative energy and raise positive energy. Oh, this is awesome. It smells so clean. It smells like clean soap. Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't smell like the bar soap. It's a clean smell. I like this. Okay. That's really cool. And then Yerba Santa Mini Herbal Bundle. This is what I was getting confused about. This is the bundle. So you would burn this, of course. So this is the herb bundle they were referring to. And Yerba Santa is burned to help purify. And it's yerba. Of course it's yerba. It wouldn't be herba, right? Yerba, yerba, right? Okay. I think I'm right. Yerba Santa is burned to help purify and empower the energy in an area. You can use it daily to help raise vibrational levels in your home or sacred space. I love this a lot to be able to do that. And then seize the magical day, eclectic witch deck expansion packs. So you get these cards in each thing. I have some on the other side of the room. I've just been collecting them and they build up. So 3 cards. We get 3 cards on white aventurine, green flower tourmaline, and Florida water to add to your deck. You've heard it pronounced how I say it. I don't know, that's how I thought. So this is the green flower tourmaline. So it's going to give you some information, and this is the way it looks. I like the way it looks on this side. I like this a lot. It just gives you some information about the green flower tourmaline, and then green tourmaline, and then black tourmaline. So that's what it's telling you. And then the other card is the white aventurine. And it's just giving information about that. And then, of course, the Florida water card, which, by the way, it lets you know the Florida water uses as well. Offering, ritual tool cleanser, ritual cleanse, protection mist, money anointing, good luck mist, cleansing bath, dream magic, warding, floor wash, counter wash, room mist, perfume, aftershave, skin toner, itch relief, cooling mist, mood booster, and laundry mist or rinse. So there you go. So this was everything in the box, and they always include a little card as well. In here, thank you for your Inked Goddess Creations box purchase this month. Here's your early access to this month's theme. So they let us know the next theme is going to be, if you could see, Witching Hour. So this is letting us know the next theme is Witching Hour, and I'm very, very curious. I like that they drum up the mystery about it. Like, ooh, what's in the next box? What's it gonna be? I love this. It's always exciting to get these goodies. I like this so much. This would look cute. I'm not. My nail is. Let me see. Can I put this on without having some sort of a breakdown? It is hard to do things with these nails. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I like the shorter nails. I already lost it. I like the shorter nails. I am someone who struggles with this. I can't get it. I'm gonna try it one more time because I want to wear it. Nope, I'm getting. Oh, if I get mad, I get hot, and then we get to sweating. Yes, all those things happen. I've just got to a decent body temperature. I can't take it right now. I just can't. It's like, you want to know how short my fuse is? That right there. Okay, so this is the Ink Goddess box creation. Ink Goddess box. Why am I saying that the wrong way? I find use for everything. Receiving their box is great subscription. It really is. All right, so let's get into this book. Okay. I'm going to preface this by saying, and I kind of read through it when I got it in the haul. The key word is science. Witchery, science, lore. Not science lore, not witchery science. Science. There's a lot of science in this book. This felt low-key like a textbook, like a mini textbook. This is something, if I was homeschooling my kids, this would be part of the curriculum. I could bring this in on a unit for if we were talking about weather. And this would be perfect. You're homeschooling your kids. Let me tell you something. You could bring this in easy, especially if it's like middle school age and up. You could bring this book in. They would actually learn weather. Now, for me, I thought as I read the book, she would, and I dog-eared all the sections I'm about to get into. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I thought she was going to say, oh, yeah, this is about, like as you read it, she would give you some of the scientific things about a cold front. I thought the magic would be interweaved in the writing. No, I really just read about what a cold front is, like just straight paragraph after paragraph. And then in the chapter, there was the spell experiments or things like that you can do. There is not much. And then there's the section on lore. It's all separated out. The witchery is separate, the science is separate, and the lore is separate. You need to know that going into this book, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was very difficult to read. It was, for me, I kept going to, it could be in the middle of the day, I'm like, oh, and I'm, back into it. I didn't want to know all that information. I didn't, I'm sorry. I have it to know now, I have a reference, but I didn't need it. Y'all, I didn't want to know about catabolic winds. Catabic. I don't even. Catabolic winds. are downslope winds that can reach very high speeds, although most do not. Catabolic winds happen when air on plateaus, mountains, or other elevated surfaces cools and becomes denser than, than the air below it. As it sinks, the air warms and causes winds to move down the slope. And if confined in a narrow canyon, the winds can become quite strong. I'm going to stop now, but do you understand? If I read in that soft, low voice and I keep going, y'all gonna be like, all right, now, lady, wrap it up. Like, it's that, how you think I felt reading it? And if you think the next paragraph is going to tell me something witchy magic, no. The following paragraph, no. And then she goes into the fallen winds, and then we start talking about monsoon winds, which, hold on. I was like, well, let me pay attention to that technical word salad to fill the pages. Oh, it's no, she giving you a break. Like, to me, she is so, she knows, she's a woman. She knows what she's talking about. I just didn't need to know this. Like, I wish there was just a little bit more. It's definitely giving textbook. The monsoon winds. You thought you was going to get some information, didn't you? So I thought it was. So I was like, oh, okay, let me get into this. Oh, this because monsoon season's coming, right? Okay, she talks about it. They're very common in the desert southwest of the U.S. as well as the African Sudan. Boom! I'm like, and I'm in it. I'm reading. No, it was nothing else I wanted to hear. And then she gives. Then there's a craft for a ribbon windsock, which it doesn't even sound fun the way she explains it. So I'm gonna tell you when I'm going to craft, I was like, well, this don't look fun at all. This feels like something I would do with my kids to learn. And there's nothing wrong with me learning, but like for real, for real. This is something I would have them do like sixth grade, for sure. Like fifth, maybe sixth grade. My fifth grader could have did this exercise. And then there's the weather lore. And then that's it. But I'm gonna move on to what I wanted to talk about. But I'm just giving you a heads up. If you are interested in this book, the chapters are mostly the science, technical words. If you wasn't wanting that information, you're gonna get it anyway. And then she gives you an activity that is witchy-esque. The activity, building an ocean energy altar. So I want to tell y'all about this one. So even though the ocean may be far from where you live, the energy moved by the ocean current certainly impacts the weather all over the world. Collecting things that represent the ocean and the energy it moves around the earth is a good way to remind you that you can tap into this energy even if you live in a land-bound area. Perfect for somebody like me. That's why I bookmark it. So you'll need a space to build your altar, a statue of an ocean deity should you choose to work with one. So you can skip that if you don't want to. But I might do something. um, Items that represent the ocean and the energy it moves, such as ocean water, sea glass, beach sand, and a map of ocean currents and seashells. So what I have to do this is I don't have a statue, but I have a jar that I dedicated to Yemaya, and then I have seashells that I collected myself from when I lived near a beach. And I have sand from my last visit to Jacksonville Beach. So I have those. So I could do that. That's it. She gives you some directions here. Gather your items, da da da. Tells you how to source them. Collecting ocean water is a good way to harness the energy there, da da da. Once you've assembled your items, build your altar in a style that suits your practice. So that's it. She's just giving you the idea, you run with it. I don't mind that though. And then there's a healing bowl, creating and using ocean energy healing bowl. So you're gonna need ocean water for that. She tells you if you don't have ocean water, you can use regular water. Sea glass or seashells, and she's, I don't know. Then there's an exercise extension. It's not bad. It's just interesting how she does things. And there's an extension to this exercise. She's calling it exercise. This is a textbook. Loki, this is a textbook. Don't come in here looking for it. This is an activity that happens to be a little witchy. If you don't have access to ocean water, regular water will do. I highlighted that. If you look at the water cycle, this is what I'm going to point out. She says, if you look at the water cycle, all the water on the planet spent time in the ocean at some point. So if you wanted to do some sea type spells and things like that, that was a nice reminder for me. And I trust her because we're on page 58, 68, and she has told me a lot about winds and currents and things of that nature and science. So I know this lady knows what she's talking about. And then it goes into the weather lore. Um, Honestly, I got most of them at the end. She does a winding up section after the end of every chapter. Low key, you could read, you could just look at the exercise, the activities, and read the winding it up, and you could get the gist. Because after a while, I had to skim some of the other stuff. It gets very detailed. Um, there are many ways you can incorporate ocean currents into energy work practice. I encourage you to let your mind set sail on the ocean blue and see where it takes you in the magical practice. This is a very technical book. Um, I want to read this because she's going to give in the next section, she's talking about frontal systems. That's the name of the chapter. Chapter 4 is frontal systems, magic sweeping down the plains. I'm not even going to give you the rest. Don't worry about it. Just know there's a section here called the exercise. It's not a spell, it's an exercise called magical fronts. Now I want y'all to look at this page a little bit. Let me bend this back because I want you, because I looked at this like, man, this is an activity for me to really learn something. You'll need paper, a ruler, and a writing instrument. You're gonna make this chart. You're gonna make this chart here. The chart says types of fronts: cold, warm, um, occluded, OCCLUDED, and stationary. The up top, that's temp, clouds, winds, precipitation, and the magical correspondences. This is above me. This is above me. I'm telling you that right now. So then she does an exercise extension. I highlighted this because I want y'all to, this is key about this book, and this tells you everything. I know this sounds a little bit like I'm asking you to do homework for science class, but I think my energy work is most effective when I'm using my map and reference table as a guide, looking for weather that supports the work I'm trying to do. I will draw the fronts on the map. I may even try to draw in symbols for the weather I want, write my intention, color, sketch, or whatever I feel I need to do to put the work into motion. I find this tool especially effective if I want to perhaps send energy to a friend in another part of the country. Now, I'm never going to do this. I'm going to tell you this right now. I find this book very intriguing. There is very good knowledge in this book. If you are a weather nerd and happen to be a witch, you're going to love this. If you are someone who just fixates on things, and right now your fixation is weather, you will love this book. And you also like a little bit of lore and a little bit of witchery. This is for you. If you are someone who wants key information about, I don't know, if you're a sea witch and you're referring to yourself, or your practice is really based on a lot of sea work, sea magic, maybe that section, you would begin this book just for a section. But actually, if you like storms, but you maybe a weather nerd-ish, this is your book. If you are not if you're not either someone who is currently hyperfixating on weather, if you are not a weather nerd and you're a witch like me and you thought you were open to some information, but it was a little overwhelming, the amount of science, maybe it's not for you. And that's just, but you won't know until you read it. If they have it at your library, get it there. There is, is a lot of science in here, and there's nothing wrong with me learning science. It's just that I've learned about cloud formation and I've taught it. I've learned about atmosphere and the different levels, all that stratosphere, all that stuff. I've learned that and I've taught it. I don't want to read it again, and I don't want to learn it again, not to the degree that is being shared in this book. That's all. Yeah, I'm not against learning because I don't want to sound like I'm there's some clout, and we're gonna skip at this point. I'm gonna skip everything I read in the chapters or skimmed at a certain point because it was just a little too much. because she's giving you real information. Like there is nothing witchy. Convergence, the convergence of those global circulation cells at the surface also causes air to rise. The converging cells form low pressure systems. I'm going to stop right there. You see what I'm saying? This section about this exercise, cloud energy work. The energy stored in clouds is available to me for doing magical energy work. Using what I know about the type of cloud as well as direction of motion enhances my energy work for her. For example, I use stratus clouds and their overcast appearance for protection work over my farm and to charge my wards on the property lines from a distance. If you are a weather nerd and a witch, this is your jam right here. You gonna love this. Um, I realize I am not a weather nerd at all, so this is not gonna be for me. She has an exercise extension. It's the terminology. It's like I think this is she like a professor? Like I'm like yeah, she has a PhD in physics and teaches meteorology, astronomy, and physical sciences at the University of Arkansas. Part of me likes it. Like this could be a class. Like this, that is my jam. This, this is a very comprehensive book. I don't want to speak negatively about it because there is so much information in here. It feels like a textbook with exercises and exercise extensions. You remember how in like your school books, it would be like the activity, and then if to take it further, it's like a couple things you could do as well. She's giving you that in here. This is very, very college professor minded. Make your own felt cumulus cloud. It's really kind of like this is really like a preschool level activity because she even suggests if you want you can get a piece of construction paper and put cotton balls on it if you want to do it like that too. um Fog ancestor meditation. Don't get deceived by the title. Don't get deceived. I did. I thought, ooh, fog ancestor meditation, that sounds interesting. Calm down. It's it's never as mystical as you think. And this is an activity. It's not a spell. It's not a ritual. There's exercises, there might be a craft, and there's activities. No, you need a quiet space to sit and meditate. Fog. You need fog. Arts, crafts with science, yes. Um, I don't have fog access right now. I mean, I could create steam and pretend it's fog. Candles, incense, crystals to help you focus, and a notebook for writing instruments. So there's an exercise extension as well. An adaptation of this is to use the fog to surround yourself or another person with healing or protective energy. But you would need that. She means fog, like for real. Like if you're in a place where it's foggy, you could do this. A lot of this, she tells you, is dependent upon the weather. If you have access to fog, you don't, then you're not going to be able to do this. Um, I yeah, it's weather. So I mean, she's not wrong for that. Hey, KT, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, hey. And then there's the gathering rainwater for magical use. I thought everybody would be interested in this one. Water is a key component in so many forms of magical work. So why not use rainwater instead of tap water? I capture rainwater for use on my farm already, and sad to say, it took me a surprisingly long time before I made the leap to collecting it for magical use. Da da da. Right now, I'm talking about rainwater in general, but in a later chapter, I'm talking about thunderstorm water, which I bookmark it or earmarked. So you need an outdoor location to collect the rainwater, a container for the water collection, incense or other materials to cleanse the container, cheesecloth or muslin to strain the water because you want to get any plant matter out, and storage container for the water. She gives you directions. Of course, it's what you think it is, right? I'm going to read this part. You can use this water as you would any water in your magical practice. I use it in my healing bowl. I can add it to a spray bottle with oils or stones to use as a general altar or tool cleansing spray. I even save some rainwater I collect for ritual baths. Okay. Listen to the exercise extension. An extension of this activity is to collect water at special times. She says, I pay attention for the opportunity to collect rain that falls on auspicious days, like a Sabbath or a feast day, a day of the week ascribed to a deity I work with. She says her birthday, and so on. And then I might choose rain gathered on Sunday for help with success, or weather, or on Thursday for abundance and prosperity. I like that idea. I would choose rain capture on a day of the week that would most help achieve my intended goal. So that's something a little different if you weren't already doing stuff like that. Um, and then she has a seed spell in the rain section. She's basically using rain water to, for the seed planting. And then I do that a lot. I'm about to do that with the seed balls, the basil seed balls that I got from In Goddess Creations. So I'll be actually doing that. That'll be on my other channel though. There is mounting at, but she does, I wanted to, in the beginning, she does make a reference to climate change, and she says she won't be going over that in this book, but she does note there is mounting evidence that climate change is contributing to drought conditions, particularly in the developing world, because there is a section where in rain she talks about drought. There is a section on drought. There is nothing magical in in that section in this chapter. Nothing. It's just the understanding what drought is. I cannot preface that enough to you. Then rainbows. Physics of rainbow formation. I know how rainbows are made. Okay, but she told me, so that's good to know. And then she talks about other types of bows, because rainbow. And this was actually interesting to read, this section here, other types of bows. So moonlight can also form rainbows. They are just not as bright. I don't think I've ever thought about that. So this was good to read. Because the light is so much dimmer, moonbows appear colorless. This is not due to the physics, but rather to the biological limitations of the human eye. One way to see the colors of moonbow is to take a long exposure photograph. So that is something I will be attempting to do on the next full moon if I can remember. And then fog. Fog can form bows for similar reasons, but because the droplet size in fog is so small, the light doesn't get a chance to disperse like it does in the larger raindrops. Therefore, fog bows look colorless. So there you go. And then understanding the signs of rainbows doesn't take away their magic. I like that she says this. And beauty. In fact, to me, knowing that it takes these very specific conditions to create them makes them even more amazing. And I agree with that. So she has a rainbow chakra exercise. Don't get excited. Because it involves a comfortable location, notebook, and writing instrument. You need to be viewing a rainbow. If not, you need to create something rainbow-esque. She tells you in here about that. But ultimately, if you're doing this, there's a rainbow present. I have thought about doing a rain spell for a place that has a drought in another country, maybe. Technically, it's not really talked about for some reason. Well, we know why. But Arizona need like the the drought. Apparently, we've been in a drought this entire time, and I came here in 2019. And water is obviously very valuable. We're in a desert, and they have land here that they sell to other countries. Other countries own land in this state that they farm on. Key things. So that's wonderful, but you might also want to take care of it here. And to me, when we start talking about that, because our weather is so tied to capitalism, and a very small majority, very, 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 very unspeakably rich people, families, globally speaking, who are controlling this and affecting the weather everywhere. That is very thoughtful. So I would add to that, if you're doing that, you're gonna want to do some sort of spell to address the reasons we're experiencing droughts and things of that nature. It's not a natural phenomenon in some areas. It is directly tied to capitalism and how it's affecting the weather. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna want to work in something as well. A binding spell, maybe to bind the powers that be. It gets tough because when you're doing binding type work, I mean, we can do a shot in the dark and hope we're talking about the right people. It would be great if we knew, but the very, very, very unspeakably rich people that, or families, the top 1%, but just within the top 1%, like the people at the very top who are controlling things, we won't really know who they are. People, like, there's the conspiracy theory videos and they talk about who these families are, but deep, we really don't know. They are so far removed from the rest of us humans. Um, they think they're on some pharaoh level, so they don't really, interact with the rest of us beings. So they think, we're to be controlled, and we don't really know who they are. People think they know who they are, but we really don't know. And as witches, a name is really important. So I would expand on that. And of course, my phone's ringing in the other room. I would just expand on this and just think of, if you can do a little bit more research on, and it's something I've been thinking about too, like, who are these people? It's not about destroying the family and all that. I mean, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, like, a binding spell, but it would be nice to know who, whose power are we trying to bind? And that's something I would be calling on a deity, or ancestors, both, all call on a lot of energy from other beings in this realm and others. Definitely ancestors are going to want to help you with that. Local would be easier to track, most likely. You thought that was his phone. No, it's my phone in the distance. It is without fail. I can't express, people who know me personally, like family, they don't watch me here. And I am very open. The way I talk here, like, we'll be talking about something. I'm like, you know what? And then I go into a whole witchy rant about something. So they don't need to watch me because I'm already going to tell whatever my thoughts are. So the next thing here, oh, she just, in the rain section, she just ties it up in the winding up section. She says, all magic is local, to your point. I enjoy supporting my friends who are magical tool makers and often do so to the detriment of my bank account. However, I also use what Mother Nature provides as much as possible in my magical work. Water is a powerful magical tool, so why not use what Mother Nature provides us? Valid. Talking about the rain. So the next section was snow and other winter weather. Don't really experience a lot of that, but I have. I will possibly call on Helios. He went by the name, the one who sees all. There you go. There you go. That's a good idea. Magic and snowflake. So here's where I thought I was getting a little witchiness. We're now halfway into the book on page 141. Inside this snowflake, there are wonderful opportunities to boost your energy work. First, go back to the snowflake structure. If you don't think she has that, you're crazy. Of course, she's giving us that, right? The snowflake structure. The angle between the hydrogen. Okay, stay with me. Imagine me reading this. I'm like, oh, magic in a snowflake. I'm going to get something. First, go back to the snowflake structure. We should turn the page, y'all saw it. The angle between the hydrogen atom is a 104.5 degrees. So if I add up all the digits, then reduce the total 10 to a single number, it's a 1. If I take the atomic number of oxygen, 8, and the atomic number of hydrogen, 1, and add up the number of all atoms, again, it's a 1. 8 plus 1 plus 1. Using numerology, some properties associated with the number 1 are the following: positive, intelligent, courageous, negative, cold, unfeeling, stubborn. And you thought there was going to be more? And you could, no, she's going to jump another area to explore sacred geometry. Girl, what? What? And then we go into the snowflake magic oracle cards. And I was like, ooh, are we going to take that knowledge? I'm ready to put my, science cap on and get into this. You'll need a snowflake images, cardstock, or other heavy paper, and writing instrument. You're basically just making oracle cards in the shape of snowflakes, which I love this, by the way. This is, she's now put it down to my level where I'm gonna just cut out snowflakes and write messages on the back and decorate the other side really pretty. Now she's on my level. This says probably more about me than this woman. Now I can do the activity. This is the craft. This is the craft. Not to be confused with spell or ritual. And then she gives an icicle spell. Don't get excited. The original inspiration for this work was from Dorothy Morrison's Swifting Ritual. Don't know that. Instead of using candles, I use icicles. You can inscribe words or symbols into the icicle and let it melt away. The natural shape of an icicle as a pointer lends itself to work similar to that of the original ritual, which I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's it. You could put some on the icicle and you let it melt. That's it. That's the exercise. Not to be confused with well, it could be a spell, but that's that's it. You salt, a tray to collect the melted water, 2 pieces of paper, and a writing instrument. I'm not mad at this. I don't have access to. I mean, I can make an icicle in the freezer, but that's it. No more. Winter weather timing. She talks about the polar vortex. I thought we was about to get into something. No, I learned the science behind polar vortex. I learned that it is not a surface phenomenon. I did not get anything else out of that. That is witchy. A cool it off spell. I use temperature drops to my advantage. I can't use this because it's just getting hotter every day. But if you're in a place where the temperature drops, we're gonna need more info. Winter weather optical phenomenon. Okay, then just when come on, at this point, I'm halfway through the book, and I'm like, this is hard. Okay, more magical inspiration. Finally, without just reading now, she says here, there are so many things about snow that could be folded on into my practice. We're still in the snow winter section, by the way. When I walk outside after a snowfall, only the sounds nearest me are easily heard. The rest are muffled by the softness of the snow. This is a good time for me to sit in silence and listen for the messages only meant for me. Back in the day when I had access to snow, I used to do something similar to that. I think when I lived in North Carolina, we had some snow. A little bit in Tennessee as well. But I'm used to being in Jersey, and even growing up, my great uncle, he had a place in the Poconos, his other house, and I remember we would go there. It was only a handful of times, and it was just, that was so exciting to me to be in a Poconos in this house. And sometimes if there was snow on the ground, that was fun. And I remember years later as a family trip, we would go to somewhere in Georgia, and they had mountains up there, and you might get a little snow there. That was fun. But growing up in New Jersey, definitely. Oh, duh. When I lived in Connecticut, when I went to school, I went to Southern Connecticut State. Not that long. I didn't finish there, but I did go there. And the snow there, just it was so cool. It was something about just if you go out and it's not a busy part of the day, and it's just quiet. Depending on where you're, it could just be quiet. And it was a reflective time. And if you heard something, it felt like it was meant for you. Anyway. Snow is a good thermal insulator, keeping heat in. So I have used snow as a component in a protection spell. This is what I thought I was going to get as I read the book. This is just her in the middle of the section in the sciencey part. Then she says, I like to catch it in buckets or bowls, snow that is. I will bring it inside and let it melt and save the water for use in my practice. The snow melt water seems to me extra clear and fresh, so I use it to bless or cleanse my tools and altar pieces. Because snow and ice are liquid water that has undergone a transformation, using them for working toward change or transformation will be appropriate. This page is what I thought I was getting, where you would give me some, the information, and then you would, work in I got it on this page. That's it. There's the lore. I haven't even gotten to the winter weather lore because it's, yeah, I didn't. Thunderstorms. We're now on chapter 8. Big energy, big magic. Thunderstorms. You see how you're waiting for something, right? You're waiting for something as I'm going through this book. We are now on page 157. Thunderstorms. This feels like a textbook for real. Thunderstorm water is a powerful addition to your magical toolkit. I use thunderstorm water in all the ways I would use regular water in my work. If you work with a storm deity, it is the perfect water to use for offerings or blessed statues, candles, or tools dedicated to that practice. If I'm making a healing bowl, I will add some thunderstorm water to give an extra boost to the energy I'm sending. Thunderstorms. Yes, you need a bowl, safe location to place the container, stones to hold container down if needed. Collecting thunderstorm water is what you think. So that's it. There's an exercise extension. It's not worth it. And then there's a thunderstorm water scrying exercise. Don't get excited. You need thunderstorm water, a scrying bowl, and clear quartz, which is optional. Prepare yourself in your space. Pour your thunderstorm water in a bowl. If it helps your focus, add a piece of clear quartz. Relax your gaze. I'm skimming. Relax your gaze as you look at the surface of the water. Try to focus on the crystal. Gently blow across the surface of the water. Note any changes or images you see on the water surface. Once you're done with the scrying session, be sure to disengage any energetic connections you created to scry. Take a few deep breaths. After using the water for your session, pour it on the earth, allowing its energy to be recycled by the water. You thought you was going to get more, didn't you? That's it. And then we go into the dissipation phase. Afternoon storms and afternoon magic. This section made me think about living in Florida with the rain. Maybe, she said, maybe I have some spell work that would benefit from a little extra boost of energy. Timing my spell work to match the development of the storms in the afternoon makes sense. This is not about rain collection per se. She is asking you to do the spell around that time, the afternoon rain, thunderstorm rain, or after, you know what I mean. You need a comfortable location to view the thunderstorm. Water-soluble, non-toxic ink or paint, a writing instrument or paintbrush, paper. I don't know what you thought this was going to be, but it wasn't this. I'm not even going to get into it. Then there's drawing rain. When I'm needing rain, I try to encourage these pop-up storms to come my way. As a farmer and gardener, rain at the right time is critical for a successful year. This appealed to me when I looked at this. This is the exercise. A bowl of water. If you have rainwater or thunderstorm water, use that. A tree branch. Try to use a branch from a tree that grows near water. None of that's not working for me. Unless I have already collected it, which I have not. I'm going to be struggling with this. So anyway, she says, time this work when the afternoon convective thunderstorms are beginning to form in your area. Fill the bowl halfway with water. Begin to stir counterclockwise. And she writes in a paragraph. You need to see it. I want you to look at the slide. I'm over here on this paragraph. This right here. She writes in the parentheses on the paragraph. Look at the parentheses. There's a lot. So let me read it to you. She says, begin to stir the water counterclockwise. I know this is Windershins, but remember that you're trying to create a low pressure system to draw the rain to your location. Low pressure rotates counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. I did not know that, but thank you. As you stir, recite these words 3 times. Rain, rain, come to me. I call upon your energy. Rain, rain, drench the earth in this water dearth. Rain, rain, come this way. Quench the land on this day. After reciting the verse 3 times, set the bowl down, place the tree branch across it. Wait for the rain to come. When it does, be sure to thank it for quenching the land's thirst. There's an extension to this exercise. If instead you want the rain to go away, try this. Instead of stirring counterclockwise, stir clockwise. Alter the verse to ask the storm to pass you by. She didn't give that to you, though, but you would alter it to do it. If you don't have a way to get a branch in a bowl of water, just use a clockwise hand motion. Felt like that should have been mentioned in the list of things. 'Cause that's the last sentence. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a branch, just do this. Anyway, so there's that. I'm not mad at this woman. She's just like really, this is above me. Creating a lightning protection amulet. So I was looking at this, creating a light. This is the activity. I created a special amulet or charm that I hang on special trees around my farm. My dad once told me we get a lot of lightning strikes up here. She's in Oregon, I think. I think she said, I don't know, I forgot. Did she say Oregon? Maybe I'm tripping. Arkansas. No. Oh my goodness, Arkansas. Arkansas. Um, while I've never been able to verify, she says, oh, lightning strikes up here because of all the iron in the soil. That's what her dad told her. And she says, so I figured better safe than sorry. I came up with this idea using what I know about science, but also things I've learned about the magical properties of metals. Lightning protection amulet. This is it. This is her lightning protection amulet idea. So you'll need a copper nail, an iron nail, a silver 20 gauge bedding wire, quartz crystal point. Okay. As she's wrapping it up, she says, to the ground the lightning goes, to the ground the energy flows, to the ground so no harm comes, to the ground protection done. Okay, there's more. Then the section goes into types of lightning, thunder, and yeah, Serenoscopy. Seroscopy. No, I'm trying. Y'all say it. Y'all tell me how to say it. Serenoscopy. Am I saying? I don't know how to say that word correctly. Maybe I need to take the lecture to get it. You need a nearby storm, safe observing location, a notebook, and writing instrument. Anyway, it's a form of divination using thunder and lightning. I do think this is interesting. This form of divination obviously requires a thunderstorm with visible lightning. So if you don't have that, you can't do it. But if you do, focus on a few moments on the situation you want insight on. Make a note of the day of the week and the time of the day the storm is occurring. Once you've settled in your location, make note of the order of the direction you see the lightning strike in. See, this is actually really an interesting thing. This is very involved. But listen, if there's a storm, thunder, or lightning, and you're visibly seeing the lightning, this is actually a really cool thing to do because you probably chilled anyway. I think this is actually really cool. I like this. And she's giving you directions. There's of course an exercise extension. Then she talks about lightning protection. Lightning rods attract lightning, keeping home safe. We knew that, right? And then she goes into there are a few plants that are believed to also provide protection from lightning striking your home. Mistletoe was believed to have been planted in oak trees by lightning, so it's was seen as an effective lightning deterrent if hung over your doorways. I didn't know that. And she said, and here you thought it was just about kissing. She has a sense of humor. Holly is another plant that is used for lightning protection. Holly bushes were planted in the landscape to draw the lightning away from a dwelling. I didn't know that. And it goes a little bit more about lightning struck wood has protective and good luck lore surrounding it. We've probably all heard that, right? Now, here's a section about St. Elmo's fire. I didn't know much about that. I just know the movie. I didn't really think about it. An unusual phenomenon that can be associated with some storms is St. Elmo's fire, also called witch's fire. Electricity buildup in a storm causes the gases in the air to glow. You're going to learn today. The glowing corona discharge typically occurs around sharp points, like the masts of ships or spires on a building. It was even reported by drovers on the cattle drives throughout the Great Plains as appearing on the tips of the longhorns' horns. Since it warned that lightning might be about to strike, it was considered a good luck sign by the sailors, who named it after their patron saint. It is even mentioned in Shakespeare's The Tempest. Last night, quote, last night I saw St. Elmo's stars. with their glittering lanterns all at play, on the tops of the masts of the tips of the spars, and I knew we should have foul weather that day. End quote. What are you over here? So 2 years ago, I made a monsoon bracelet in honor of my love for them. I went outside during a thunderstorm. I raised the threads and I chanted over and over while I was doing that. Storm became stronger. Oh, that's pretty cool. And you said it felt like it was reacting to you. I tried to summon a storm without any overcast. It hasn't really worked yet. So you're weather magic. You do work weather magic. See, when I think weather magic, I'll be honest, most of it has to do with usually I don't want it to rain on a certain day or we need rain. That's really about it. Or well, that's today. That's where I'm at now. Once upon a time, when she talks about hurricanes in here, that was more important to me. She goes in the next section, chapter 2 is tornadoes. I'm going to not give you too much more about this. Storm knife cutting the storm. She gives you this room to put on there as well, if you're interested to that. Sweetening the wind. I thought this was of interest. So she says, I use this spell not just for severe weather, but also anytime the wind is causing havoc. You're going to need wind chimes, your preferred protection oil, and a permanent marker, which is optional. One of the things that she says here is that you would say, sweeten wind, don't blow so strong. Strength is low, time not long. Sweeten wind, as the chimes sing, let this work, fairer weather bring. I like that. Weather and storm magic. So for practice storm magic. I got you. Okay. There's a section on a craft for making wind chimes. Hurricanes is the other thing. She said she wanted to talk about hurricanes last because to her, they contain many of the other types of weather energies. There's a 4-corner spell that she has in here where you're doing something. It's a piece of paper. Again, calm down. Don't think you're doing something else. But you have some words that you say, Hagstone protection amulet. I don't have a hagstone. I would like one. I don't have one. Hurricane protection. Another form of protection magic my friends use in their hurricane prep is to write prayers or blessings for protection on the boards they use to shore up their windows. So there's that. I would even say sigils. I would put everything on there if I had to board up. Gratefully, in my times living in Florida, I never had to actually board up windows. I've been in hurricanes. I think the one I was in that was really scary is when I lived in Boca Raton, Florida, and that was scary. The water, the rain, like it was. First of all, there's the hurricane. Within the hurricane, tornadoes form. Nobody talks about that, and that is a crazy, crazy thing. But we noticed that. I didn't notice it while it was happening, but in our family room, there was like big window glass doors for the back. And it was netted in, so it wasn't completely covered so rain could come through. There was a little bit of an overhang. But anyway, I noticed somehow I didn't know this was a thing. Water was coming in because the back of the couch was wet. So at some point, because the high winds, the water was coming through, I guess, cracks in the glass doors, and the back of our furniture was damp. I would notice this days later because like a day or so later, I hadn't realized it was wet. Because why would I be thinking the water's in the house coming at that level? But yeah, that was a crazy hurricane. I don't remember the name of it, but that scared me so bad. I'll just involve Storm from X-Men and her conjure whatever weather I need. I like that too. There is a section on how hurricanes benefit the environment. The hurricanes churn up sand and nutrients from the ocean floor and deposit them along the barrier island, replenishing the island. So that's good to know. There's a visualization exercise. And then it wraps up with her saying, weather is part of you. And it's a nice little message here. Mother Nature gives us so many opportunities to work with weather, energy, and weather magic. And then you just have a glossary because you need one because it's a textbook. You need it. And it's a pretty comprehensive glossary, just to let you know. And there's a bibliography because she's a PhD. She would not have that. She also wouldn't use double negatives in the sentence, I would imagine, as well. So Deborah Burris is a very educated woman, and she wrote this book. And there is a host of information, science. There's more science in here than witchery, and there's some lore as well. There's more science, lore, and then witchery. That's the best way to explain it if you get this book. If it sounds interesting, get it. I just think it has to be your cup of tea. Yeah, I don't. Well, you sound like you're into this, so I think you should get it. I think this is up your alley. It's a point of reference. If you this summer and you were looking, if you had kids, I want to say fifth grade and up, um, people, your kids who definitely can read, but I would say fifth going into sixth grade, based on like how it's the information here. This is a great book to learn with if you wanted to, if you're, you want to teach your little witchlings and you wanted to add in that, but you really wanted to teach them the science as well. This book is perfect for that. Just saying. Wow. Um, I don't know how often I'll refer to this book. I'll be honest with you, unless I was trying to learn something or teach somebody something. I don't know. Did you know that centuries ago people thought that the wind was caused by the devils? Oh my goodness, no. But they thought a lot of things were caused by the devil. Honestly, in 2024, I saw a video of someone saying it was Taraji P. Henson, the actress, gorgeous lady. Taraji P. Henson was doing an interview. It was clips. She was saying the same thing in different interviews where she was talking about embodying as an actress a character. Now, before I tell you the devil part, hear me out. Now, we understand acting on a surface level. If you're not an actor, you understand you become the character, right? You get into, it's like, who is this character? You learn the character. So she was explaining that. She was used the term chakras in her explanation as well. She was low-key putting it on a spiritual level, basically saying you become, you invoke, using kind of those terminologies. We get that, right? The place I saw this, I don't know why this was on my FYP, it was on TikTok, and the person was, and I looked at the caption after I saw what she was talking about, and she was saying it's like an on and off switch, and you need to know how to turn it off because you can get lost. Your personality, you stop being you start being this other person. And I looked at the caption, and they were saying, this is demonic. That was the caption. And then I went to the comments because I like to torture myself occasionally. It's all a little sadistic, maybe. I don't know. So I go into the comments, and in the comments, there are people saying what you would think they would be saying. Yeah, this is definitely demonic. What do you mean um, you're becoming the character? That's, you're letting in spirits. It was like, the only spirit I let in is the Holy Ghost. And it's just going on. And this is what the Beyonce said about Sasha Fierce years ago. This is what she was talking about. She becomes a demonic force. Exactly. And I'm just like, y'all, this is not, like, she is telling you the literal mythology behind being a successful actor. Like, you do embody the character. You don't just, for some people, they do. And we've heard stories about actors who get lost in the character, and they got to take a beat. They got to take some time off to come back to who they are. They fully commit. Who was it? Oh gosh, I can't remember this. What's the actor that played the Joker? He wanted a Scarsborough. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? I've read somewhere. I'm pretty sure that he said he really got into that role, and he needed to take kind of was it Jared Leto? That's what it was. Or was I'm thinking about the clown dude. But yeah, that guy. Like, I think he had to take a beat or something. I read take a little time to come back to themselves because it's such an intense role, and you want if you're, this is what, for some actors who are serious about their craft and what they do, they kind of, it was a Heath Ledger. I'm not sure. They had to you gotta, it can take over. Um, I am not an actress. I've done school plays, and I didn't have that. The one thing I think I knew I was lacking, I didn't understand to that degree. Like you method acting, like you become this person, whoever it is, good, bad, whatever the situation is. There are people who you don't even have a big role and they talk about doing that sort of stuff, but people get into their craft. That's why we believe it. That's why, we're crying at films. That's why we're laughing. That's why we're in the moment. We're seeing ourselves because they have become the character. It's that intense. So we know this as adults, or even as hopefully as a teenager, you understand this concept. So to think it's demonic the way she was explaining it, I don't know. People disappoint me on a regular basis. It was just annoying to me seeing that. I'm like, come on. Taraji is like being vulnerable, explaining to you about the process and what it takes to fully commit. Why you think she really is that chick Cookie. I never watched the show. Um, um, the character she played, Cookie. Why you thought that was, a lot of people thought that's really her personality. That's really how she is. Right. Method acting. Anyway, why am I on this point? I don't know. But yeah, so couple things. Don't forget, I have another channel. If you didn't know, if you're watching me for the first time or you haven't seen me in a while, Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch here on YouTube. It's a newer channel, and that's more vlog style. And yeah, I'm letting you into my actual practice as a cottage witch. So check out that channel, subscribe if you haven't already. And then here on this channel, I continue to talk about all the things I've been talking about during the videos that I do. But I did want to know, let me know your ideas for this channel. Do you have burning questions you wanted to know about? Should I do a Q&A type thing? Are you interested in that type of video, that type of content? Is there something you wanted to see here on this channel or for me to speak about? And you were just curious, you wanted more of an explanation? Let me know in the comments, especially on a replay, if you have any questions or if it's something you want to see or something you want me to talk about. I am open to know what other, what y'all want to see, what you want to know, ideas and things like that for upcoming videos. Also, if you were interested in seeing real witches work, real spells, real rituals, something where I might take a spell out of a book and you actually see me going through the spell and then I come back and I tell you if it worked, go ahead and hit the join button because that's what my members get. They get custom videos just for members where I am much more up close and personal and showing my spell work. And these are spells that I'm working for my own advantage as well. And I'm showing a real witch casting spells and doing rituals. The catch is that I will take it from media, whether it's a book like this, a work of fiction that might include a spell, and I make it become a real spell, or even movies and things like that. So if you're interested, hit the join button because those things are shared there every month. And then I come back at the end of the month. So I'm waiting for about 30 days or so for the spell to be able to manifest. So we also do there at the beginning of the month, because you won't ever see me do it here. They say never, but I probably won't ever do it publicly. But for my members, I give them a reading for the energies of the month, and I'm included in that as well. It's for us. If it applies, it does. Some things might not apply to certain situations, but yeah. So you get that as well when you hit the join button. That's what the members get if you didn't know. So it's not just it's very personalized, personal videos. I'm sharing a lot more there in general, not just from a cottage witch. So I'm purposely doing things like from books and media, things like that. The cottage witch channel, you get more of that part. I love a Q&A, but at this time I don't have any questions. So I come with some later. No, that's fine. Yeah, questions or ideas. If it was something you were very curious about and you wanted to either get my opinion, or if you wanted me to show something, show how to do something, let me know as well. And I'll see if I can accommodate that in a video. So there's that. And also leaptaken.com. I have a website if you weren't sure. It's always in the description on my videos. But go ahead and check out that website if you want to purchase services from me. I do readings. The reason I don't do readings on my videos like this is because I take my readings, I think it's intimate, and I take it very seriously. And I have my members to me are like a small extended coven of witches, so I feel comfortable sharing it with them. And for paid readings as well, I feel comfortable because I'm someone I like to get close and intimate in your question and what's going on with you. So one-on-ones make more sense than just doing. And no shade to people who do that. I don't think that's for something for me to do. It's not my style, so I won't be doing readings here. And if you were curious about, well, what's a reading like with her, well, you can go ahead and go to the website and go ahead and make a quick purchase, and you'll find out. I have an Ask a Witch service. The Ask a Witch is really broad. So within a realm of my understanding, you can ask a witch. So if you are working spells and it's not working, if you are trying to understand certain concepts within witchcraft and you want to understand it, I can help you with that. That's a service, and it's going to be about an hour. We're going to have a conversation. It can include readings as well. It might include you walking away with some instructions for a ritual or a spell or things like that. So that's a really kind of open-ended type of service. So check that out if you're interested. And if always, I have my mentoring services that I offer as well. Don't forget, I do sell a cottage. It's called the Cottage Witch Planner. It is undated, and for you to use I use mine mostly as, yes, for appointments and things like that, but mostly for to-dos. On each of the blocks, I create my daily to-dos, and it has been super helpful with me. I have a lot of planners. I'm about to create new planners for myself, but I always use mine as the one I'm consistent with because of the way that I use it. And for the habit tracking as well. Also, I write my new moon intentions there, my full moon intentions. I write down my spell results as well, including for the members. When I do those spells there, I write that there. That's how I keep track of what I'm doing and any kind of spells that I'm working. I write it down there. So I have this record of all the things that I've done and the results of it. So I jotted down there. So yeah, check that out. I also sell a Cottage Witch notebook, or excuse me, grimoire, but you could use it like a notebook. So it has a really cool cover. Everything is downloadable and for you to print, so you can laminate it. And that's great for your Book of Shadows, for your grimoire, your magical journals, and things like that. And it comes with 3 types of paper. One has an antique finish on it. One has a grid design, and the other is lined paper. So you have variety for whatever you're trying to do. I use that regularly. What is the first book that comes to mind that you recommend for someone who is heading headfirst into witchcraft? That is a great question. That is a loaded question. The very first book I had was a Scott Cunningham book. It was a Wicca book. And for years, I swore by that being the best book to start. And I think I evolved with that. I need to think about that because I need to think about that for a different reason. Because I've changed my mind. Because I've come across some other books and I really like those books. One of them, and I can't remember that. Do I have it near me? Because I usually put books down on this side. Do I? I think I do. Hold on. For those who, okay, this is the book, African American Magic by Stephanie Roseberg. Here's why. She's not necessarily, because I practice by the will of the year. It really matters how you want to come into it. Like, what are you drawn to? That is where my mentoring program starts. This seems like a straight question, but here's why. It depends what you're attracted to. in my mentoring, the level one, I do a read. I ask you questions, but I do a reading, and I'm trying to get an understanding of what are you drawn to? Are you drawn to certain elements? Are you drawn to a certain practice? Because that dictates the best book I think that would be for you. Now, I think this is a really good book because it goes by the wheel of the year. I think understanding the seasons, the wheel of the year, and trying to practice your magic around it is a very first step of getting into it. Now, once you understand a little bit more, you can branch off into other things. But initially, I think this is an easy way. The holidays are built in, you have a ritual built in, so you know what to do ritually. You can do crafts a certain way that kind of align you with your practice. There's certain spells that you can do that make sense in the seasons that you're in. It's a built-in tradition if you go by the will of the year. Once you feel comfortable with this, then you can branch out and it's like, the ocean calls to me. I'm drawn to the ocean. I'm drawn to the seas or water. I'm just drawn to water. When it comes to working with water, I feel like I excel. I feel like my spells are more successful. I feel like my communications with, spirits when I work with water. Then, okay, this is great. You have this information, but then we can grow from there. And then I can understand, okay, you're drawn to the element of water. Maybe it's not just the ocean. When you are around water, when it rains, it's not weather, which it's the water itself. So then we can go into books about elements of water. There are whole books. There is one, I reviewed it on the water magic. And I would tell you that would be a great book for somebody like you. You see what I mean? It's not necessarily that's why I've expanded on this after having clients and understanding. It's hard to just say a one-on-one book, but if I was forced to, I like books that work with the will of the year. I think that you get to tap into a lot of different stuff when you work with the wheel of the year elements, certain deities. You get to work with and it can become like harkening back to my Wicca days, your year in a day. Because if you're working the seas, the wheel of the year, it's going to be about a year for your practice, and this is a great way for you to get into it. And you can learn, to work, call a certain, and maybe you call on certain ancestors in a certain season, in a certain month or something like that. And you might learn, they can teach you about solar work because it's the summertime and things like that. Mika's planner is beautifully designed and a good tool for practicing, which is just good. Oh, just so you guys know, thank you. I think so myself. But a book like this, anything to do, well, not any book, I should not say that because I do have other books about the wheel of the year and they just showing you crafts and you're not something you're really going to learn. But I love this book because I think this one, I will look into this book. Thank you. You're welcome. This to me is a really good book. I trust Stephanie Roseberg. She's been around for a while. She's very knowledgeable. It's folksy, it's craft, it's practical as well. If you're just coming into it, too much esoteric is like, look, you might not connect with it, but practical things like this book, I think is super helpful. Like, she's talking about like deep dish peach cobbler, giving you a recipe, but there's the magic part into it. And this is obviously the summertime. So there's recipes and there's lore, and I like this book a lot. Anyway, yeah, grooming with spirit, purpose, and patience, social and psychological implications. Like it's a good book. I like this book. Mother and daughter natty hair rituals, that sort of stuff. Herbal dyes for mature African hair. This is the section for summer. Like, it's practical. I like it. Anyway, she doesn't say the will of the year. There's also something here about Juneteenth for working for freedom. Yeah, peach cobbler. There you go. This is a good book. I don't see a lot of people talk about this book. We can get into why that is, but I like this. African American Magic, a modern grimoire for the natural home. Wait, what is this? Yeah, a modern grimoire for the natural home. Anyway, that's it. So as a cottage witch, this appeals to me, but I think it's a very folk magic practice. That's why I think a lot of people, especially Black folk, they kind of go to hoodoo when they come out of Christianity. It's easy to work because you're using the things that you have around you. She works hoodoo. Yeah. Anyway, this is it. I like this one as a first book. That's why I have it near me because I was referencing this, by the way. So I have stacks of books all around me. Oh, I really need to organize this. Um, it's on my goal in my goals planner to organize. I need to buy new shelves for I have more books than I have space. I don't have enough room on my shelf for the books. So now they're stacking up next to me in piles, neat, but in piles around me. I got to do better. Natural home. Um. Oh, like I guess I'll tell you. She talks about that. Hold on. Where is that? I read that. Examines the magical ability of the seasons to enhance our lives. Unearths techniques, rituals, and methods from around the world that use each season's inherent energies to supplement mind, body, and soul. The natural home. I think she just means like natural, meaning not you're using most of the things she's talking about using here are of nature. Like she's talking about henna for hair dyes. She's talking about herbs and things like that. Spiritual warmth and good health and immunity. Teas, like I said, she's talking about plant life. Nothing synthetic. Vegetables when she gets to the food section. Apple cider vinegar. I think she's just using it in that way. Gardening. I'm shocked I don't have that highlighted because I do have some things highlighted in here. Let's see. The magical ability of the seasons to work. Natural, meaning the seasons. I think that's also what she's talking about. Natural items like leaf. Okay. So she's talking a little bit about that and about the nature, natural nature, that term as well, because it's all about using the seasons, which she's not saying, because the concept of the wheel of the year is really more Wicca based terminology. So she's just saying the magic and mystery of the seasons, by the way, but nature is what she's talking about because there's no focus on like organic and synthetic or something like that, like furniture in your house or something like that, or the way your home is built, like natural substance. Like she's not focused on that sort of stuff, if that's what you mean. Um, but she does talk about solstice and equinox because those terms are common. But yeah, that's not what she's talking about. But let me see. I'm trying to see if she references that. I thought she did when I read this. I mean, this is in chapter 1, so we going further. I don't know, but I think that's all I think she means it like nature, natural, not any other kind of way. But anyway, it's a good book because she comes in the beginning. She breaks down about solstices, equinox, seasonal mojo. This is a good book. The Natural Home. I knew it. I was like, there is something in here. My first book, Sticks and Stones, Roots and Bones, Hoodoo, Mojo, and Conjuring with Herbs, was written as a guide for hoodoos, crafted around the notion of mojo as a power object. African American magic differs from my first book by focusing most of its energy on our most intimate space, the home environment. And it is devoted almost entirely to holistic health. As an herbalist and aromatherapist, my emphasis is always on natural, earthwise solutions to mundane as well as spiritual issues. African American magic is designed to help imbue your home with natural energy that is truly magical. It is a transformative energy courtesy of Mother Nature's four seasons. So, nature. This book stresses beauty cultivated through holistic health with special focus on the herbal spirituality that is the hallmark of many African cultures. Harnessing this energy will fill your life with positive mojo. Now, if you are not African American and you're thinking, is this book for me? Well, if I'm reading books on European based folklore and traditions and I'm taking it from it and I'm able to learn, then wouldn't this be for you too? That's just a question for you to answer, not for me to tell you. See, we can all learn. Anyway, but yeah, to answer your question, I think this is a great book for that. This is why I had it by, because I was helping somebody else with this. I love this book. I think it's great, as a first step to kind of just start getting accustomed to certain energies and doing things. And I like doing things with your hands when you're learning witchcraft. Esoteric and reading is great, but I think you need to get your hands dirty. I'm going to say one of the things that I've refined my mentorship program is, let's do a plant spell. It doesn't have to be serious. Just go get some seeds from the store. We're not gonna make this crazy. Get like something I know will grow quickly, like basil for prosperity. Who doesn't want prosperity? Let's get some basil and just, don't have to be expensive. We're gonna just plant this, and I'm gonna teach you to do your intentions and how to go this. Kudos if like you have the pot that you've already consecrated and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, getting your hands dirty, touching dirt, touching the earth, and then we light a candle. I like to work the different elements, and then there's the water as well. So the incense smoke, if we're going to do incense, that's your air. I like to get you involved because I know for me, I like learning, I like listening, I like reading, but if I to put this in practice, I need to do something. I think that was one of my issues with the exercises in this book. I'm okay with writing things down. I have enough notebooks and journals, as you can see over here on the side, and pens and markers and all that. I love being able to record information and do that. I like that. But I like to get my hands dirty. Tell me how to do the oil and touch the herbs. And, I want to, anoint the candle and rub the candle, the oil. I want to do stuff. Give me some words to say, to speak out loud. It needs to become real. Anyway, maybe that's it. I'm an Aries and I'm very action oriented. For me, I would say the first book that I would recommend would be Changeling by Aiden. I'm not going to recommend a book, no offense, written by a man, but also other books, Six Ways by Psychic Witch. There is a very masculine tint. I've read Psychic Witch. I studied the heck out of that book. And there is a very masculine mansplaining approach. You might not see it. I don't think you're probably going to see it. It probably resonates with you for that reason. But from someone who relishes in her feminine and feminine divine, who is very in touch with her masculine side. That's why I'm able to spot that very masculine energy. You don't see, I know you're not going to say, and I don't expect you to, so that's perfectly fine. But for me, it can be to someone coming into it, especially coming from Christianity. I want to introduce them to duality and to feminine, because if you're coming out of these Judeo-Christian beliefs, there's so much masculine as being the seat of power. I'd like to introduce the power that is in femininity as well. So I would almost never recommend a book, you know what I mean, by a male author for that reason. There are books that there obviously are men who are more in touch with their feminine side, and I have read certain books, but not as a first time book. Yes, I'm coming from a deep Southern Christian, right? The last thing I would want to do is introduce you. No offense. Psychic, which was difficult to read for me personally. I didn't resonate like I expected, exactly because there was some mansplaining in that book. It was in there, and I did not like that, and it turned me off. I finished it, but I didn't enjoy that. But yeah, KT, I would, because you're missing the feminine divine in that. Maybe Catholic, if you're Catholic, you might be a little bit more in tune with that, but deep South Korea, no, you wasn't. You didn't have as much as that. Take a little offense to that, but oh well. No, don't take offense. It's where you remember, we're talking about a beginner, someone coming with strong overtones of Christianity, and they're still trying to separate from that. And with masculine energy being so prevalent. I mean, you want to bring in a little bit more of the softness, not the heavy overtones that sometimes these male authors can bring. So Psychic Witch, prime example. When I was reading that book, I don't think I have a physical copy. I think I have it on Kindle. To be honest with you, that's something I studied that book um, in a book club, in a book like with my coven. We went through that book. It took us a couple weeks, and we did the exercises and we talked about it. So it wasn't just my perspective; it was all of us. And at first, we were really into it, and then as the book went on, and it's women from different age ranges too, so it's not the same. We're coming from different backgrounds, and we all felt the same way about that book. That he was mansplaining. It was definitely coming from to me, it felt like a patriarchal type viewpoint at times in that book. So yeah, I that's why. So it's nothing about you and that it resonates with you, um, but I would not recommend that to someone coming from Christianity. Not, I think it was worth reading because I got information out of that book, probably the same way that you did, but you would have to have already kind of come in and you're already in touch with your feminine divine and all that sort of stuff, where you could read that and it resonates with you. But it could be confusing, I think, to someone coming out of Christianity. But that's just my take. That's my take. And well, all the other women that read it too. Sorry. Sorry. Psychic Witch had no duality. Right. The author doesn't have a relationship with the divine goddess, and it shows in his writing. I agree. I've been wanting to write a book for witches to help deconstruct Christianity for us to bring in a duality. I have to reread it because it sounds like we read two different books. Here's the thing. Do you know one of the people who I read that book with had already read the book, and they felt the same way you did? It was a woman. She felt the same way you did. And then she read it now. So I would tell you, go back. If you wanted to, go back and read it again. Now that we've had this conversation, and tell me if you pick up on it. In the first couple chapters, it wasn't like that. Once you got further, I want to say almost a quarter ways in, I noticed the shift in the tone in the writing. But you let me know. I thought he worked with Hecate. I don't remember that. Maybe he mentioned it once. I don't remember a lot of heavy information about Hecate. Not in that book. I'm just telling you right now. But you go ahead and look. And you tell me after you went back and read it, you let me know. Yeah, it does. Like, I understand now that I've said this, and that's in your head, and you go back and read it, you might see something different. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. I want to eat some food. I have been meaning to reread it. You should. And now that I said this, you're gonna be like, you know what? Is this what she's talking about? Or if you don't catch it, it's cool. It's cool. Everything's not for everybody, right? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go and do some magic and eat some food and do some videos for next week. I can't wait to share all that sort of stuff. I will not be live next Friday because I will be someplace else. So I won't be able to be live. If I thought I could do it where I was going, I would, but I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to risk it. So, and I'm afraid that someone might do something to embarrass me in the background, so I won't do it. But more about that the next time I see y'all live. All right. Thank you. You all have a good day too. Bye. Like, subscribe, share, and all that YouTube stuff too. All right. Bye.